Good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Vishnu Durga, and I'm here to you today to really share with you our 6 steps to a better business webinar. Now, this particular webinar is really geared at giving you the structure that we use here at Action Coach to grow many businesses across the country and even beyond. Now, to get you a little bit more clarity around what I want to get done with you, I want you to understand that my purpose here today with you is to reward your time investment. I want to make sure that for the 30 or 40 minutes that I'm going to be with you today, figure out some ways how you can really increase your sales and profits, free up quite a bit of your time because you don't want to be a slave to the business, and create an amazing team that's not just productive, but also really fits the culture of your organization. We are the world's #1 business coaching firm, now in its 27th year, with over 1,000 offices in more than 70 countries. The company was founded by Brad Sugars, and our vision is world abundance through business re-education. We do not believe that for you to do well, someone else has to suffer. And in Guyana, our vision is Guyana's abundance through business re-education. We do believe that there's quite a bit of information that needs to be shared and skills that need to be built so that we really move to a much better economy here in Guyana that is driven by Guyanese companies. On a weekly basis, there are more than 15,000 businesses being coached all across the world, and several dozen here in Guyana as well. Our team is one that is led by true professionals. We have Mr. Keon Smith. He has been with Action Coach Guyana for the past 6 years and is truly a coach that is focused on moving everyone that he comes in contact with forward. Then we have Shanti Prashad, who's actually very close to becoming a doctor in transformational leadership and also a coach. And she also focuses heavily on helping especially family businesses move forward. And Coach Prem Parsan, who is from a family-owned business and has significant experience in retail and manufacturing. And added to that, he is also heavily focused on being a behavioral coach, understanding why people behave the way they do and how people can really adjust their behavior to get much better results. I'm here with you today. I'm a doctor in management. I specialize in entrepreneurship, which means that I really focus on making sure that we get ideas into reality that can serve both the owners, the team, the community, and further on. Coming from an engineering background, I do understand the importance of efficiency, and I really do love private sector development. Now, our definition of a successful business is a commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. And what I want to do is take you through the steps as well. And these are the 6 steps that actually gain very massive results. And at the very bottom level of any organization where we do have to start is we refer to that as the mastery level. And at the mastery level, our main focus is to really eliminate chaos. When we do so, we're able to create stability for the company. And when we have a stable company, when a lot of our mastery issues are really sorted out, then we move on to niche, which is the second level, which is all about marketing, making sure that enough people know of how fantastic your organization is so that they can actually come and do business with you. The more business you have coming in, it really creates predictable cash flow. And I will go into every single one of these areas so that you can determine where your business, either if it's an ongoing business or if it's a startup, you will know where you fall and what you can start putting into place. Now, we do work mainly with medium-sized companies that really want to become large and corporate. That is the market that we've seen that we can really serve well. So if you do belong to such an organization, make sure that you understand how our system works. Once we have a good level of marketing going, then we make sure that our systems are really top class, that our systems are able to manage the flow of customers coming through the door, to make sure that we do everything in a very efficient manner and a manner that could be easily replicated time after time. With all these systems in place, and many organizations then actually move towards an ISO type of certification, or really making sure that they are accepted throughout the industry as being an organization that really moves and operates according to the standard. Then we make sure that the team knows how to operate the systems that are in place in the organization. Because once you have that, you're able to then replicate, and you really do then have a structure for growth. With such a structure, next step would be putting in a general manager, because now you have synergy. This general manager is really in charge of making sure that he or she runs that well-oiled machine, so that you as the owner of the business can then benefit from passive income or the sale of your business. And if you would like to still continue in the business, but not having it rely on you in order for it to be a good business. Now, this is how we actually deliver massive results for many of our clients locally, and the thousands internationally as well. So let's take a quick look at every area so that you can have a good sense of what each area really means. And when we're talking about mastery, we're talking about a commercial enterprise, the type of entity that can do more than just serve a few people here and there who you have to run behind. There are 4 areas to mastery, and area number 1 is what we call destination mastery. Destination mastery is all about you as the owner, you as the directors being extremely clear where you are taking this organization, so that the team can buy in, so that your customers can rest assured that you will be there long, maybe even beyond the owner. Next, we have money mastery, making sure that you're not just spinning your wheels, that at the end of the day, you actually make a significant profit margin. Because the worst thing could be that you and your team really work hard in the business, and at the end of the month, there's not enough money to pay for all the expenses, let alone put aside any profit. Money mastery is extremely key. There are too many organizations that are not very keen on the level of profits that they're bringing in. Then we have time mastery. Where is your time going? Where is the time of your entire team going? And yes, I know that this is a very high speed introduction to our system. Every single one of these concepts is hours and days worth of practice and training to make sure that they really get to a level that they serve you. But you need to know. You don't know what you don't know, and this is one way in which we can deliver this to you. Delivery mastery, how do we make sure that your customers get what they expect every single time they do business with you? Regardless if they're big, they're small, they buy a lot, they buy a little. How do we make sure that they're always walking away very delighted, very satisfied of being able to do business with you? Once we have the mastery level organized in an organization, then we move on to niche. And niche is really about making a business profitable, making sure that there's enough cash flow coming in the organization that you don't have to be engaged in price competition. What we need to make sure is that you can be very clear to the market. What makes you so different? What is your unique selling proposition? Because the market will choose you when you are different from your competitors, and when that difference is something that they're looking for. Secondly, what can you guarantee about your business? If your business is really one that you know you can deliver, what stops you from actually guaranteeing that you can deliver your product and service in time, in full, and according to the standard that people are expecting? Once we have that done, we need to make sure that we test and measure every single strategy, every single number in the business, to know which lever in a business controls a result. If we want to have more of a particular product sold, what marketing strategy do we need to execute in order to increase sales in a specific area. And the only way you will know that is to test and measure. You have customers coming into you right now. Have you already tested and measured? What is the source of these customers coming into you? Where did they get to hear about you? And how are you doing more of that? And that is exactly what takes us to Action Coach's 5 ways of growing a business. And we know that customers, revenue, and profit is what business owners are generally after. But if you think about it, those are all just results. And that's exactly where it gets excited. So if we take a look at customers, revenue, and profit, you can actually see that they're all in red. And you see the equal sign before them. They're all results. What we're looking for is the 5 areas in blue, which are the actual levers that make a business generate significant profit. And it's very important that you know what these are in your business. Now, if we were to take a look at a small business that has about 4,000 leads on a annual basis, so they're open for 200 days a year, about 20 new people come in every single day. That works out to about 4,000 leads for the year. The conversion rate is, of these 4,000, of the 20 that come in every single day, how many of them actually start buying from the organization? And in our little example here, that's 25%. And you could have guessed it. That means that this particular business will end up with 1,000 customers, right? If 4,000 visit, call, make contact somehow, and only 25% of them buy, we actually end up with just 1,000 new customers for that year. Next, we want to know, how often do these people buy in the year? In this case here, it's twice a year. So maybe that's a medical service where people have to go twice a year to get their medical checkups done, which means that the business gets to earn an income twice a year. If you are selling bread, for example, and you buy a pack of bread once every week, that means that you would have 52 transactions per year. If you buy, for example, a cell phone, maybe you change your cell phones once a year. That means that your transactions would be 1. So it's very important to know, how often does a customer buy from you? And then we also want to know, what is the average amount that the customer spends at your business? And the easiest way to do that, of course, is to take your daily sales and divide it by the number of transactions, because then we know what to expect from an average customer in terms of sales. When we multiply the customers by the number of transactions, by on average how much somebody spends, we then have a revenue. And in our example, we're at the revenue of 200,000. We then want to know, well, on this revenue, what's our profit margin? And again, we have 25%, which leaves us with a profit of 50,000. And again, as I mentioned, this is where it gets exciting, because as an action coach, when we are looking at the marketing area of a business, we have over 100 ways to increase each and every one of these blue areas. And of course, that depends heavily on your business and what is most needed in your business. And for that purpose, we would need to sit with you to work that out. But let's say we were to increase our number of leads by just 10%. And maybe you have a website, maybe you don't. Maybe people are out there looking for you. Maybe you have a website and you don't have search engine optimization as yet. That is something that you could be trained on. Maybe your social media presence isn't what it should be. Maybe there are no live videos happening. There could be dozens and even 100 different things that you could do to increase your leads, but we're assuming that we're just increasing it by 10%. Your conversion rate. Is it that when you speak to the customers directly that they really start buying from you, or is it that all your team members can convert like that? Are there any scripts in place? Are we really following up with people in a way that will cause them to say, hey, I should do business with this organization? Putting those types of strategies in place that are relevant to your business can increase your conversion rate. And in our example, again, we're going for another 10%. And you would notice that because of the cumulative effect, we now end up with 1,210 customers instead of 1,000. Number of transactions. Are we rebooking people? Are we, if you had a salon, for example, and people used to come every 3 weeks, are we calling them the week before? Are we getting them to buy other products that they can come back and shop from us at a later date to increase the frequency that they come to us? For the average dollar sale, are we upselling? Are we cross-selling? If someone were to, if you were working in a fast food location and somebody orders chicken, would we ask them, do you want fries with that? Would you like a drink with that? All of those type of questions, and that process allows you now to have people buying more from you on every single transaction. Also to asking people, what else do you usually buy? When you buy this from me, what else do you buy that goes with this, so that you can determine if there are other areas that you can add to the business that will allow for you to really increase your average dollar sale. That pushes up our revenue to 292,000. And if you're sitting at home with a calculator, please do the mathematics, because that's a 46% increase in revenue. Of course, increasing your profit margin, the first place to start is stop discounting, because every single time that you give a discount, you're really telling people not to trust your pricing. And secondly, also working on making sure that you have higher margin items that will allow you to make a better margin, and maybe dropping some low margin items as well that are just pulling down your profit. What also happens is that the more you sell, your fixed costs generally stay the same, right? Not because you had a fantastic month do you pay more rent, or do you pay more electricity, or do you, pay more for security. So quite a bit of the costs stay the same, which allow you to generate a larger profit margin, resulting in a profit which is 61% higher just by working on specific areas in the business. And of course, every business has its own nuances. We'll need to determine where we get started. As a coach, if I were to look at this business, I would get started with a conversion rate, because only selling to 1 in 4 customers means that 3 customers are turning away from this business at the moment. I would be very interested. Why are they coming to me and they're not purchasing my products? Right? So that would be an area of concern for me. Next, we move on to leverage. And leverage is really making sure that we now have a business that works, not you that work, the business that actually works. And what we would really look at then is that, we want to have a system, and, we always hear the story that people think that their business is different. We believe that they all sit on the same chassis. Yes, cosmetically, these businesses might look a little bit different, but we need to make sure that they all have systems that really allow them to get the most out of their resources. And for us, system means saving yourself time, energy, and money. Time, energy, and money. Wouldn't that be fantastic? And yes, it is highly possible. We do this every single day, just by making sure that we have ways that we could constantly repeat and make sure that we get the result. I'm going to take you very quickly through the 9 steps to systemizing business. First, a vision statement. Where are we going? Followed by a mission statement. How will we get there? We need to know the type of culture that we need to develop in the organization. What are the values that you stand for? Is it punctuality, honesty, integrity, excellence? So that the people that you hire need to come with those values as well, or you need to develop it in them. Then we move on to SMART goals. What do we want, by when, and who has to do it? Once we know that, then it's very easy to start designing an organization chart that clearly outlines who is responsible for which area of the organization and who they report to. Every single position needs to have a positional contract, so people know that they are getting paid a specific amount and that they need to deliver a very exact result to the organization as well. Of course, our KPIs are key performance indicators, which allows us to measure if our team members are really able to deliver what we need from them. Is it 20 calls per day, 3 site visits per day, 5 proposals need to go out per day. How are you measuring the members of your team? Number 8 is the how-to systems, which means that every single thing that needs to be done in an organization must have a method to it, must have a how-to. Even if it is how to open the business in the morning, what are the 5 or 10 steps to be able to do that? What are the ways in which a proposal is done for one of your clients? Is it that a specific portion does a part and another portion, and what's the process, and by when can a client expect to receive their how-to system? And then 9 is the overall management system, which is when you finally actually have your quality management system and you're now able to have a business that can be run using a management system where it doesn't depend on you to make snap decisions from day to day. And you can really also put the organization in some jeopardy by making such decisions. And that is really how we leverage a business. Then we look at the team, which is when you actually have this commercial profitable enterprise that works without you, whereas the team is actually running the business. And we sometimes believe that the owner needs to be running and taking care of the team, and then the owner also has to run and take care of the customers and keep the business running. In our system, the owner needs to really take care of the team. The team then takes care of the customers, and the customer take care of the business by continuing to support the business, and the business takes care of the owner by providing the owner with profits. The owner takes some profits, the owner invests quite a bit of the profits back into the team. And in this manner, the owner can be very, very focused on where their attention needs to go, so that they're not constantly running in all different directions trying to keep things going. At the final level, which is synergy, when we can actually have the growth and then the freedom to be able to move forward by either just receiving our passive income from the business, by creating new branches, setting up new branches of the location, by even selling the business, because one of the key things that we do with organizations is build the value of the business, right? Building the value of the business. If you're the one who's needed to keep the business running, that's not a very valuable business. Nobody can buy it because they would have to buy you as well in order to keep that business running. A business is very valuable when you are not needed, when the business is actually an asset now. Right? So if somebody else wants that business and they want it badly enough, they'll pay a premium to be able to get that business, because all they need to do is sit back, have the business run, and generate profits for them. Now, I trust that you have followed along with the 6 steps that can actually give you very massive results. And for today, you can actually submit a background questionnaire to receive a complimentary 1 to 2 hour business strategy session. If you are a smaller business, it might take about an hour. And if you're a larger business, we do need to block out about 2 hours for us to really determine about 3 things. And the 3 things that we're looking for is, does the business actually have the financial capacity to grow and produce the type of profits that you really want? 2, are you coachable? Right? Because everybody says the right thing. Everybody says that they want to get better and bigger, but doing it is a whole different story. So even you filling out the questionnaire is going to be a little bit of doing. And can you actually force yourself, for some of you, to do something that will move you forward, that will be different from what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? So number 1, can the business financially grow to what the type of profits that you're looking for? Number 2, are you actually the type of person who is willing to learn and do what is necessary? And number 3, can you actually make a decision? Right? So those are the 3 things. And we do, one of the fastest ways in which a coach can help a client grow is by helping their clients make better, faster decisions. And a decision could be a yes or a no. That's fine. That doesn't really matter as much. A decision could be yes or no. Once you make a decision, once you make a decision that allows you to move forward, because many people are stagnated because they're not making the decisions. So a coach will push you A coach will really hold you accountable to make sure that you do make the decisions that are necessary. And many of us might be familiar with Richard Branson, owns many, many companies. And once you learn how to run one company really successfully, you can run multiple companies because the principles remain the same, right? Jim Rohn always says, never wish your life were easier, wish that you were better, which means that you should really work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Right? Are you constantly working harder and harder, or are you actually getting smarter so you can do things better and have more time, energy, and money? Brad says, where you'll be in 5 years depends on the books you read, the people you associate with, and the actions you take. It's not enough to read the books and be around people who are successful. What are the actions that you will take? And Tiger Woods said, no matter how tough you think you are, you can't do this on your own. And you notice that especially with athletes, especially with CEOs who are really running massive companies, they're not doing it on their own. The better they get, the more support they need because they can't see their own blind spots. I can't see my own blind spots. That's why I have a coach. And my coach would ask me as well, Vishnu, how did you come to that conclusion? How is this going to work? What other options do you have? And it allows me to be accountable to someone else, and it improves my thought pattern as well. So if you are, and again, coaching is not really for poor performance. It's not for poor performers at all. This is for good performers who really want to be great, and great performers who really want to be stretched to their maximum potential. So if that sounds like you, that sounds like coaching. Again, our special offer is just send an email to info@actioninvest.org, and you will either get a hard copy or a digital copy of the questionnaire. Fill it in. Just filling in the questionnaire alone is already going to ask you some questions that you might have needed to consider for your business, and it will immediately start helping to make your business more efficient because you'll now be considering things that you haven't considered before in the business. So take advantage of this opportunity because many businesses are getting ready for what is coming up in the new economy, and please don't get left behind. So the only thing that is left to do is for you to get into action. Get that email sent in. If you're looking at this on social media, send me a message, send any one of our team members a message, and we'll be sure to get you that questionnaire. If you want to talk to a coach, a brief phone call to clarify any questions you may have, a message as well, and we'll be able to answer any questions, any concerns that you may have to really allow you to move forward faster. So with that, the only thing that's left for me to say is, thank you for taking the time out to really invest your valuable time in learning something that could move you along. And if you got great value from the video, if you understood what I was explaining, and if you have any questions, I'd strongly encourage you to share the video as well. Make sure that other portions are able to learn our system as well. The more people that learn our system, the better, because it will really allow for a massive impact in our country. I've been Dr. Vishnu Durga. Really happy to be able to share this quick set of information with you. And I'll leave you with a little bit of a video on what we do. And I look forward to supporting your growth. Thank you.